Well, we have some victim mentality, pure and utter nonsense that it just gets me so angry, and I want to debunk it very easily, and then also just turn it into a how-to video, because I don't want to be like this person you see that sits there and complains and gives a false narrative and then doesn't offer up any solutions. But then again, he doesn't want to offer up solutions because that would destroy the narrative, this victim mentality that he is painting, and it's driving me nuts. And I think maybe, should I do like a victim mentality false narrative segment now, where whenever I see these things, I just call them out and show you why they're a false narrative and how to actually do the exact opposite of what's being implied. So let's just get to it here. And you can see, it's amazing that the banks are allowed to rip off savers. The Fed rate is 2.25%, yet checking accounts pay 0.06%. How is this legal? Now ask yourself and be honest. What is your impression of this walking away from it? I'm assuming you're thinking something similar to, geez, the banks are bad, the banks are evil, they're ripping people off, and they only pay 0.06% when the Fed, and I'm not going to go into that rabbit hole, but there's this much higher percentage that I see, yet bank accounts only pay 0.06%. Yeah, wow, what a rough banks, those evil banks, those evil, corporations, those evil, they're just ripping people off. And you know what? They must be, I'm sure you're coming along with something, they're kind of in bed with the politicians, because how can this be legal, right? Why don't the politicians make this illegal? Now, that in and of itself is really kind of sketchy. Like, are you really trying to imply that you think that the government should all of a sudden be able to say, hey, you have to do this or you have to do that in regard to the product and service that's being offered? That starts to step on some very gray territory, but it's a side point anyways. Why is it a side point? Because you can get way more than 0.06%. Now, to be fair to this person, they're not lying to you per se, because yes, the Fed funds rate is 2.25%. Yes, there are banks out there that pay 0.06%, but not every bank pays 0.06%. If you wanted to be honest, he would have said some banks, which would lead you to the conclusion of, okay, so that implies that other banks must not be paying 0.06%. And in fact, there are banks paying way more than 0.6%. And that's what I want to show you here. How do you get better returns on your savings? How can you actually take advantage of this environment where, yes, interest rates are rising, but it does make those savings account rates a lot better, and especially a lot better than 0.06%. And this really, I did want to rant, but then I thought, what, let me bake in some how-to, because you can see right here that this person is asking, hey, who does everyone suggest using? I want to start compiling a list. So I did do that. The first image you saw as a social media kind of little miniature rant, and then I got more feedback, and I could see it was rubbing other people the wrong way. Other people didn't even realize it, right? They just thought, yeah, 0.06%, that's it, that's what banks charge. And then this person, rightfully so, was asking, okay, well, I'd like to start to compile a list, but who are people using? And I'm not going to necessarily tell you, I guess I'll probably mention who I use as I go through it, but I just want to show you more importantly, how do you actually find these bank accounts that are paying well above this false narrative 0.06% interest rate. So what you see here is bankrate.com, upper left-hand corner, bankrate.com. I'm not saying this is the only place you can go, but this is what I use. This is what I think is also the easiest. So go to bankrate.com, and then all you need to click on is right down here on savings. And then down here, let's just I'll put in my, local area code 49504, and then let's just change that to 0 because, let's just see which ones out there have minimum or no minimum deposits. And just like that, you scroll down and you see what I see? I'm not seeing any 0.06%. In fact, I see a 2.1%, another 2.1%, a 2.08%, 2.07%. I thought all banks we're paying 0.006%. What's going on here? A 2%? 1.9? 1.9? And then you click on those and you can learn more about them. I use CIT Bank. That's one of the accounts I use. I also use Barclays, where if you continue to scroll down, you'll see that there's even more of them down here. So Barclays, I also have an account with them that I use for savings. But there are just all sorts of these that are offering way more than 0.06%. And as you saw there, it wasn't difficult to find that information. But that, that tweet that I went over, it would lead people to believe yeah, the banks, they're just evil. There's nothing I can do. There's this way higher interest rate at 2.25%, and then the best I'm going to be able to do is 0.06%. Well, no wonder why people are angry at the system. No wonder why people feel like the victim when you paint it and frame it in that way. But you just saw, if somebody knows how to use Google, go to bankrate.com, click on literally one thing, savings, enter in their zip code, enter in 0. There you go. They can go and sign up, and I can say that it's very easy to sign up. You just sign up, you deposit the money. They're all FDIC insured. Bankrate does reviews on them. So, I mean, these aren't sketchy institutions, and it's not like they're over in Somalia or something like that. No, they're all, USA based. They're all, and I take that back because Barclays is not USA based. That's an English bank. But point being, they're all FDIC insured, and they're all legitimate banks. So don't listen to this false narrative. And this is just one of so many false narratives out there. So many that for whatever reason, I won't go into it here. I mean, if you want to leave your comments down below on why do you think people force this victim mentality? Why do you think people paint these false narratives that, like I said, was so easily debunked? I mean, it wasn't hard at all to show that you can make way more than 0.06%. So that's how you do that. Don't listen to this nonsense. Don't look at things as I'm the victim. There's nothing I can do. There are things you can do. And you just got to start listening to people that aren't going to, I mean, think about it. Now you know, so if you follow this guy, think about it. This guy was completely, I can't say lying to you, but he was lying to you in this form of, half-truths. And he was completely, pushing you away from something that wasn't even close to being true. So I hope this helps. And do you already use one of these banks that I listed? Let me know down in the comment section. Help other people out. So like I said, I use Barclays, I use CIT Bank, and I'm looking at another one that I might open up, but I'm not going to comment on that because I don't know if I'm actually going to sign up with them. But yeah, you can definitely do a lot better than what some people are making you think. Just go to bankrate.com, check out the savings accounts, and there you go. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.